that's a good question.
Hilarious.
No, I don't think Apple wanted me in a race car while I was directing this movie.
You know, I like very, very much the movie because the film feels and looks like a huge movie full of acting and motorsport talent. But I want to know, how was this journey for you from the conception of the idea in your mind till now that you're presenting F1 in one of the most important countries for the Formula One?
For the sport, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 4 years since the initial idea. And you know, there's so many people to thank that helped me get to this point 4 years later. It started with Lewis Hamilton, the world champion, 7-time world champion.
The GOAT.
Yes, the GOAT. He's the first person I reached out to because I wanted to make an authentic racing film, and you know, who better to have at your side than Lewis? He introduced me to the world of Formula One, you know, so I eventually got to meet all the team principals and all the drivers, and I learned so much from them trying to put that into this film. So to be here with a finished film, you know, it's almost hard to believe because it's been, you know, such a long journey.
Danson, I realized that everyone in the movie sees JP as an inexperienced rookie except him. And that leads him to feel like he's already conquered the world when he hasn't even been able to take his own team on top. How did you do to manage these complex feelings and gave us that big change at the end of the movie?
I just really related to Joshua from an athletic standpoint. I always wanted to be a footballer. Just seeing him fight through the ranks, no one sees the amount of work you put into getting there. And for Joshua, he would have been karting from a young age, going from F3 to F2 all the way to F1 and being one of the 22 drivers in our movie. So I could understand where his cockiness comes from, but the beauty of our movie, and of course the introduction of Sonny Hayes' character, is that he's able to learn from Sonny and with the maturity become a better driver, a better athlete. And I think that's something a lot of people are going to be able to relate to.
My Rook is a phenomenal talent, but he's young.
You know, every little detail from the movie feels like very carefully planned, but even when we have masterpieces like Top Gun Maverick and Tron Legacy, that I have to confess that I just saw the movie a few months ago and it's amazing, Tron Legacy.
Oh yeah.
But even when we have those masterpieces, there was any difficult or any thing that was very, very difficult to achieve for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, what was new for me on this was we were shooting the film during real Grand Prix weekends. We had to work within the Formula One schedule, and sometimes those windows of time were only 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
So to have to shoot an important scene in a tight window of time meant that the crew and the cast, everyone had to be so well prepared and be at the top of their game to pull it off. And,
with the time like, hey.
Yeah, no, it was like a pit stop, you know, for a film crew. But it was good. It gives the film an energy that it's all happening real time, which it was.
And talking about that, how was it for you to film that scene in the Autódromo Hermanos Rodriguez with the entire crowd
Amazing.
yelling and screaming and having so much fun with it?
There's nothing like that. I got to go to a lot of Formula One races and circuits, and that one I had never seen energy like that and passion, both for racing and then last night for the film. It's just an incredible atmosphere, really exciting.
I'm offering you an open seat in Formula One. The only place you could say, if you win, you are the absolute best in the world.
I think that Joe Kosinski has always known how to write roles for women, and in this case, your character is so strong and so disruptive. I really want to know, how do you feel of portray the woman who carries the whole team on her shoulders, because without that car, they wouldn't even have the chance to compete.
Bernie Collins and Ruth Boscombe were two ladies who work in Formula One who helped me. And then I had to realize that there's thousands of people back in England who make the car, they just have to make the decision, collective, they get all the information and they have to make the final decision. So there's a lot of pressure because if it doesn't work out, someone has to be blamed. So you're going to get the blame, even though it was a collective, decision of a load of people. So I had a lot of help from a lot of the ladies who are in Formula One. That helped me.
And what was the most or the funniest part of play that character, that woman?
I had a lot of fun with the cast and the crew. Like in between takes, we had a lot of fun together, and we were really encouraged by our director to have a lot of fun. It was very bizarre because even though it was like such a stressful thing to pull off and there was a lot of money on the line, he never was stressed. Joe was never really he never showed it. It was always an environment where we were encouraged to play and encouraged to have fun because he really wanted to capture this team spirit. So if we were bonding, he kind of liked seeing us all have fun together.
If you had any constructive criticism for each other, what would it be?
Don't be such an dickhead. That was constructive. Wow.
And in the film, we have an extremely powerful phrase, which is, sometimes when you lose, you win. There is any time when you have to experience that phrase at first hand?
Of course. In my business, you hear no all the time. That's just part of the job. Certainly when you're starting out, my first year and a half in Los Angeles, I had a hard time finding any work. But it was during that time where I wrote the idea for Oblivion, which ended up becoming my second film. So, in those times of hardship where things don't feel like they're going your way, you just have to believe, stay the course and believe there's a reason for it and believe in yourself, and, eventually it'll all work out.
Oh, that's a good question.
Hilarious. There's so many times.
Oh my God, there's loads. When I know one right now. When I got ghosted. Yeah, and you're like, thank God he never texted me back. That's a real classic.
As you can see, she has no filter. But yeah. That's a good one.
It is a good
That's
one.
a good one. Yeah, no, I definitely can relate to that. But I feel like those failures are just lessons, and they make you a better person.
Or if you didn't get a movie and you were really bummed out and then the movie wasn't great.
Great
I
example.
love that.
Always
not that I
happens in
wish
my
them
case.
ill will.
Yeah,
But...
in my case, it always happens.
Does it?
We all know that both Brad Pitt and Damson has a chance to drive a real F1
Yes.
car, but you did it too?
I didn't drive the open wheel car. No, I don't think Apple wanted me in a race car while I was directing this movie. But I did get to go into a very fast sports car with Lewis Hamilton, and he gave me a driving lesson, which was a lot of fun.